Okay, what is context-free grammar? A context-free grammar is a set of recursive rules used to generate patterns of strings. And these context-free grammar can describe all regular languages and more, and but they cannot describe all possible languages. And context-free grammar are studied in the field of theoretical computation, computer science, compiler design, and linguistics. The next question is, what is the types of context-free grammar? What is the types of context-free grammar? Anyone? Types of grammar? Okay, we can categorize into different types. Type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3 grammar. Type 0 can be accepted by the grammar type is unrestricted grammar, and that is implemented as a automata name is Turing machine. The next is type 1. The type 1 is accepted by grammar as context sensitive grammar, and automata is linear bounded automata. Third category, type 2. It is called context free grammar and push down automata. That is types of grammar only, it's not types of grammar. Next, type 3, it is the regular grammar. Then automata for implementation is finite state automata. See, you know all those things. Let I move on to context free grammar, representation of the grammar. See, for example, this is example I took it. The morning class I took. One parenthesized arithmetic expression I took. Expression derives expression plus term, expression minus term, and expression or term. The term can be term star factor, factor, term division factor, term or factor. What is this? Okay, then factor is idea number. See, now this grammar have are different things. That is G is equal to VTPS. They have a terminals, non-terminals, start symbol, production. Let me go in detail how to represent terminal, non-terminal, start symbol, and production. See, then what is terminals? See, these are basic symbols from which strings are formed. Terminals are also called as a token name. Terminals are components of token and output of the lexical analyzer. The examples, the terminals can be as if, else, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, comma, ID, number. Okay, these are all the representation of the terminals. Those terminals is not defined in the left hand side. If it is for type 2 grammar, in the context free grammar. Okay, because with respect to context free grammar only have to know about the how to write your grammar. Second one is non-terminals. These are syntactic variable that denote set of strings. The set of strings denoted by non-terminal help define the language generated by the grammar. Example, term, factor, expression. You can observe here, these are all non-terminal on the left-hand side. Before the arrow mark, expression, term, factor. All these are called non-terminals. Okay, these are all the non-terminals. What is start symbol? It is also a non-terminal, and the production for the start symbols are listed first. If the example is expression, whatever you write in the first production, the first production we call as your start symbol. Now expression is my start symbol. Okay, let me go for production. How to define your production? The production is called these things: expression plus term, expression minus term. For all these called as a production or body of your production, whole things. Let me go. The production of the grammar specify the manner in which the terminals and non-terminals can be combined to form strings, and each production consists of these 3 points should be remembered. Each production consists of first one, a non-terminal called head or left side. It is always called non-terminal head or left side of the production, and this production defines some of the strings denoted by the head. The non-terminal and the left hand side, it is called head of the production. We call it next time head of the production. I will use the term head of the production. Head of the production or left side of the production. This production defines some form of strings denoted by the head. The symbol is represented with arrow mark or sometimes be represented with colon equal. The differentiate between head of the production and body of the production, between there is an arrow mark. You can observe now there is an arrow mark or colon equal. Left hand side is called head of the production and right hand side is called body of the production. That is the difference between by using an arrow mark. A body or right, the right side consisting of 0 or more terminals and non-terminals. The right hand side you can have both terminals and non-terminals. The components of the body describe one way in which the strings of non-terminal at the head can be constructed. See, always the right hand side of the body, it can have a terminal and non-terminal. It will use to construct your input. Wherever you want to trace your input, the head of the production is replacing by body of the production. Okay, let me go. What are the conventional notation? You know it. Just I am recapitulation of the previous semester into for remembering for how to write your grammar notation. We called as a notational convention. These symbols are terminals. What am I listed by points? Are commonly we are using to represent for the terminal symbol. Lowercase alphabet in ABC or lowercase letter late in the alphabet, the last one, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, or represent strings of terminals. So normally we are using these symbols for terminals or tokens. Operator symbols such as plus, star, minus, division, exponential are used for the operator. Punctuation symbols such as parentheses, comma, semicolon are also used as a terminal symbol. Digits 0 to 9 is also used as a terminal symbol. Bold face strings always should be in the bold or somewhere it is italic. So it will use a if, else or id keyword will be represented for all our representation of the terminals. Let me go for how can we represent for the non-terminals. The uppercase letter in the alphabet A, B, C or uppercase letter in the alphabet X, Y, Z represent a grammar symbol. The letter S, which appears, it usually it is called start symbol. We conventionally you are using S as a start symbol. Okay, we start with S, that indicates S as a start symbol. And the lowercase italic names such as expression or statement. Somewhere we are you are using these type of representation also for the non-terminals. Italic with lowercase letter we are using, and sometimes we are using this form also. Expression can be replacing with E, term can be replacing with T, factor can be replacing with F. Okay, lowercase Greek letter. So we are using lowercase Greek letter. The Greek letters are alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma represent strings of grammar symbols. That is also commonly used in our grammar representation or in the problems. For example, we take one example. A derives alpha. We called like that. A derives alpha, where A is what? A is a head of the production. Alpha is the body of the production. I have only one production. Let me go for the next slide. A derives alpha 1 or alpha 2 or alpha 3 dash 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 alpha k. In this, A is the head of the production. For these production, I have a k alternatives. Alpha 1, alpha 2 till alpha k are the alternatives of A. either these or these or this, like that. It is called alternatives of case. Unless stated otherwise, in any one of the production, the start production is not mentioned, you take default first production as your start statement. Unless stated otherwise, the head of the first production is as a start symbol. Okay, these are conventional notation for non-terminals. Okay, in the next class, we tell you for the very important topic and problems on derivation. What do you mean by derivation? What is the type of derivation? How to construct parse tree for the given grammar. Okay, let me continue in the next class.